Hello, Renfro customers. I had a chance last night to go for a second time to a customer's house nearby that lives in an old farmhouse and a big old cow barn beside it. They're surrounded by housing developments like everything else that's gotten around here, but they wanted me to preserve some of their history. This is some interesting stuff. These are planter hoppers made by Cole Manufacturing in Charlotte. Charlotte was a big agricultural equipment manufacturer at one time. These are parts of the planters. These are the compression wheels. This is what keeps the mud from coming up in them. All of these are parts of, and this is the fertilizer hoppers. These would have been most likely used on a farm-all tractor. These are the side shields when you're cultivating corn and cotton. So it tells you the kind of farming that would have been done. And interestingly, the gentleman's toolbox is here. Just a typical farm toolbox. It hasn't probably been opened since September 16th, 1967. There's Case Gary, if y'all have been around. Case Gary was a writer. This is a very typical box that would have been probably made in the Matthews High School agricultural building down the street here. I've seen more of these around and they're all the same. So this gentleman who's long since been passed, but in it are very typical farm tools. A whole handful of three-corner files. Well, that's because you sharpen your own hand saws. The original cordless drills, these are braces. Here's a whole set of bits, so that's where the brace and bit name comes from. Breast drill, commonly used drilling into fence posts to put in gate hinges, that sort of thing. Here's a little bit of chalk for marking a chalk line. A little bit of plumbing solder. There's a worn down flat carpenter's pencil, almost too small to fit behind your ear. Just lots of things. A hammer that's probably put a lot of fence staples in, and they were cattle farmers. Hatchet. Here's and I'm just looking at this for now. This is a number 6 Bailey bench plane. Very typical of a farm, or if you're only going to have one plane in your toolbox, that's the one. And here's, we've seen the cordless drill. Here's the cordless screwdriver. This is a Yankee Screwdriver. Notice it's slotted, a flat screwdriver. And there's always a handful of screws and washers and nuts that you just have, that you never throw away, and all of them are slotted. This was before the days of Phillips. I would suspect this has probably not been opened. It was way up in the loft of a barn, all this was. I had to lower it down with a rope because it was too heavy to go up the little wooden ladder. I would suspect it's probably not been opened since this gentleman read the paper on that Saturday and closed it up. So that's just some more Matthews history we're trying to preserve. See you next week.